how this chapter starts is that we see Bishop holding his chest, walking where he says sorry to Storm before releasing a massive energy to space. And that's because he can only hold it for a certain amount of time, even though I think he's an alpha level mutant. But so that means he has an upper limit. And if he doesn't release it, it'll just come out wherever he's at. We go back 4 days before the Bishop incident where Storm, Manifold, and Mag are in space, where there is a floating kaiju blocking NASA view of planet Abak. What Storm is referencing is the Kaiju War arc where the Avengers discover Abak and had to fight to save it. I think I'm saying that right. Manifold asks a good question. How is Maggot going to eat all that? Which Maggot jokes to him that it is between 2 Omega level mutants. So, Maggot over there got jokes now that he's an Omega level mutant. But Manifold claps that, making the joke that teleporting him to the sun must be boring during this exchange. We learned that Manifold got a little thing for Shuri. This exchange is funny, actually, because he was like, hi, Shuri. You see how the dude turned around when he said hi, Shuri? He was like, oh, he was in there spraying his mouth and everything, trying to make sure his breath smelled good for Shuri. This annoys Manifold, who wants to teleport Maggot to Eon, the living planet. But after Storm electrocutes the big kaiju just to make sure that no dangerous pathogens are there, she also takes a jab at Manifold, telling him that it's an Omega thing, which is crazy. And also, he makes a little remark to Storm about how he could just join up with Frenzy Team, but Storm says then he wouldn't have access to Shuri. So again, it's official. Manifold has a crush on Shuri. Now, I'm not really sure if it was Manifold or Maggot, but as Maggot was eating, somebody says that they want to play Truth or Dare. So for the next 3 days, he asks, what's Storm's relationship to King T'Challa? But Storm doesn't answer the question. So then he asks again. This time he asks Truth or Dare. And she says Dare. And he says, I dare you to tell the truth. No response. So I think that they're purposely leaving this ambiguous for now. You have to read the Avengers to see what's going on over there. But I just think it's funny that they're trying to imply that maybe they are, maybe not type of thing, but we'll see. I know how Marvel like to handle relationships like Black Panther and Storm. So, but the thing that I was most hype of seeing, O-Run. So just for those who do not know, O-Run is basically Mount Olympus or Asgard's to the Orishas in Yoruba mythology. So seeing this pop up in a comic book is amazing to me, because now the Orishas, the Yoruba mythology, is finally getting the respect that it deserves and the recognition. But the problem is Shango is by himself, and the mutant goddess has come back for payback. Shango calls his axe like it's Mjolnir, and he's ready for battle, saying you have the self-assurance only the fully of youth can bring. Allow me educate you. Now, Shango and Storm are battling, with Storm saying, you came to my homeworld. Storm God, you conjure an anomaly that took the lives of people. I have done neither you nor your people any harm, yet you attack me like I was cheap game. To escape your grasp, I had to do the unthinkable. Now, I want to say I was anticipating what Storm's going to say, because she said she did the unthinkable. So I was like, what did he make you do? What's this unthinkable? And then she said he made her cut her hair. He should have done that, because making a black woman cut her hair, touching her hair, that's you ready for fighting. Shango should have known the rules. Do not touch a black woman's hair. But Storm was not always the juggernaut that she is today. There were decades of her life where she did not possess her mutant abilities. To win battles, to fight, she had to rely on skill and cunning. So Storm is using lightning-infused solar energy to prevent Shango to escape. But Shango tells her he is not the Storm god that's going to escape. So again, Brody over here taking shots at Storm like she ain't about to put paws on him. You learned the wrong lessons from our previous encounter. If you think you could take me alone, Shango says. But Storm did learn. She trained her senses till her knuckles bled and her smarts till her nerves spasmed. She fought everything her world could throw at her to become Earth's mightiest mutant, the Omega of Omegas, the Omega Annihilator. Storm smiles, telling Shango, "You're terribly mistaken. I am not alone." That is when Shango sees a giant fist coming straight at him, which caught him off guard. But Maggot is pissed off because he ate the kaiju for 3 days, and to him, it was disgusting. And I also like the fact that they pointed out that Storm is basically the Supreme Omega. I like that they did that, which is pretty cool. Thereafter, she has simply to step on the battlefield, and victory was assured. But her overwhelming power had grown to eclipse the base strength that once defined her. That is how strong Storm has gotten from her previous base strength. Storm is a powerhouse, and I love it. But another thing Storm is a master strategist. The only two mutant teleporters who can reach a location outside our universe is Manifold and Gateway. Have both made the Storm Sanctuary their new home, and their first duty was to help Storm reach a pocket dimension. Pocket dimension is the benign tumors of our universe where the laws of matter energy clump together without any substance to act on but time and space. Unusual ghosts, realms never meant to exist, realm completely cut off from the main universe. Without a teleporter, there is no reaching them. Without a teleporter, there is no escaping them. These pocket dimensions have become Storm's personal prison cells for dangerous and powerful beings. So basically, it's like the negative zone for Storm. So she's basically sound like she's going to have her own rogues gallery, and I am not mad at that. And in this pocket dimension, we see Shango, who's stuck in there with Chalk. So before she even fought Shango, she put paws on Chalk first. She put all that lightning, that solar lightning, onto Chalk first. Then she went to Shango, and where Chalk tells Shango that the mutant goddess has come for them, and when she comes out of Oron, she sees a massive energy from far away. So this is when the beginning of the book where Bishop shot in the air. So she knows that is Bishop who released the energy. So when she teleports back to where she was hiding the mutant from issue 1, we learned that her name is Jaden and that they are in the Bus Forest is where she's hiding. And Jaden is happy to see Storm as they hug. And I think they have like a big sister or mother vibe, but she tells Storm that she apologized. She had a nightmare, got scared, lost control of her powers, which is why Bishop absorbed all of that power. That's why Bishop is there. So to make sure that her powers don't go out of control. Now, Jaden has been trying to control her power, so she has been training vigorously. But she still seems to have some work to do. But that doesn't matter to Storm at all. Storm just, like I said, hugs her and tells her that she likes what, Jaden did with her hair. And she just tells Jaden that they will find another safe house. And that way, Storm can continue to protect Jaden from the FBI, who is after her. But then, out of nowhere, Maggot head gets blown off. It was crazy how his head got blown off because none of us was expecting that. So it was just like, what? So you can understand Storm's emotional reaction. And Bishop reveals that Storm can feel energy from a mile away. So he's asking Storm, who is attacking us? But Storm is in such an emotional state that she's not even concentrating right now. And that's when Manifold gets cut in half. He also gets wasted. which is surprising because he was trying to get everybody out. But again, and that's when we see Fabia or Fab, using voodoo dolls to basically kill Maggot and Manifold. But then that's when we learn that there are many things that are worse than a god. Not because they have the power to kill one, no. Norrad, the Silver Surfer Soot, is one such being. You would rather face a god in close quarters combat than have him as your august visitor. Norrad is a herald. When you see him, there is a world-ending behemoth coming behind him, as we see that Galactus is falling from the sky, almost killing Fab and his partner, who now they were behind the attacks on Maggot and Manifold. We all knew this. But we then see Infinity, who comes out and she appears before Storm. And she tells Storm that she had tortured Galactus and Silver Surfer after saving them from the Black Winter. And yet, no matter what she did, they would not give her the answers that she was looking for. And she said the only person that she knows who would know where her brother Eternity is Storm. And that's when she asks, where is her twin brother Eternity? And my friends, that is how this chapter ends. And I'm so hyped up because now you have Infinity staring at Storm, looking at Storm, saying, you better tell me where my brother is, or you gonna get this torture too. And no matter how powerful Storm is, I don't think she has what it takes to take on Infinity. I don't know, but you let me know in the comment section below. And I will catch you on the next video. I can't wait for it, but peace out, y'all.